Wolfie decided that on my shoulder is where she really wanted to be. Oh, and here comes Cam too. Come on, Cam. You want to come say hi? Yeah, this way. Oh, sweet Pete. It's okay. It's okay. Here, see? There we go. There's Cam. Yes. She's feeling better. She's not very good at taking a bath these days, but she's feeling better. Okay, no, I don't like the angle that's at. Okay, I think that's there. If you've just joined me, say hi. Oh, hey, Patricia. Gosh, I haven't even opened my, haven't opened it on my screen yet. Let me see, where's my, sorry, I got completely thrown off by the cats. Where's my YouTube? Oh, it's still, apparently the last video I watched was yesterday's live. All right, well, at least it's already muted. Let me just pull it up so I can grab the link. Alrighty, and we'll do live chat. Okay. All right, that's up. Let's grab the link. And tell everyone what we're doing. Oops. All right, but delete that. And then do at live streams. I'm live. I keep capitalizing the word live and then backing up and undoing the capitalization. I'm wondering if maybe I should just roll with it. All right, let me find blue sky and paste that there. Oh, Cam. And let's go to the hey.cafe. I should bookmark so I don't have to keep going through all these things. I'm gonna share that. And I'm gonna bookmark that. Save. Will I find the bookmark later? Who's to say? Oh, let's put the description in too, since I forgot that yesterday. Go to channel, go to content, go to live. It doesn't have today's live, because why would it do that? That would be too handy. Oh, while I'm waiting for that to load, I'm going to plug in my phone. There it is. Let me add that to my copy and paste, because I do tend to add that. All right, I think I'm ready. I hope I'm ready. Let's leave that on there, save, so everyone can see it. All righty. Okay, so I have finished 3 of those bigger squares, and they were in the thumbnail specifically because I can't, my filming spot here is not big enough to show the whole thing. So take a look at the thumbnail if you want to see the big squares that I've made. I really extra super need a new phone stand, because this is getting ridiculous. Today's on tap, I've got some Diet Cola in there that I've almost finished, and then my ice water for after, brown for pop, blue for water. Okay. So I've got this size. I've got 4 of these now. We've got the all-in-one granny join, we've got the multicolor green join, we've got the dark green join, and we have the light green join. And I don't want to join these 4 together. So today, especially since this is the only one of this size I have left, we're going to make more of this size today and see where we get to. I need my 1 round squares. Oh, state of the squares? Sure. Let's get our notes. Okay, so we have our scale measurements here. So for this size, I just need 9 grams to join them together. I made this note yesterday, thinking we were going to be working on this project, but I have not worked on it. I don't think I've worked on it. That's a good question. That is an excellent question. Well, as of yesterday morning anyway, this is what we had. I had 62 1 round squares left in this bin, and I have 256 1 round squares that I have put into the blanket already. We're aiming for a total of probably, I hope, if I did the math right, 1,024 1 round squares. And I've calculated the number of ends I've woven in so far at 798 out of the 4,778 we need. Those totals are, I did the math, so who knows if I did the math right. I think I did. But anyway, that's where we are. We'll say. Okay. I was going to move this box except for because it's casting a shadow on my desk, but it looks fine on my screen. Let me know if it's too dark here. I think my camera is compensating for it. Is that the best we can do for Zoom? Oh, and the extremely eagle-eyed among you, if you looked at the thumbnail, will notice I brought some purple in. I think I did. I know I used purple. Yeah, here, I got these squares out. There's a dark purple there. I used to join some squares. And some there and some light purple for this one. Can we see that? So once I realized the full scope of this project, I decided full balls of single die lots counted as scraps when it comes to this. That's what I decided. Okay, so let's get our joining yarns sorted out here. Just picking out my smaller balls that are in here. That needs rewinding. I don't know how big it actually is. Some of these will be big enough to do the next join up, so we'll have to weigh them. I want to use my yarn as efficiently as possible so that I don't end up with a bunch of small scrap balls of yarn. Because I feel like that's, well, it's probably inevitable, really, is what that probably is. Okay. We can do one of each with that. That one's just, we'll put it in the box if it's just for this 4s. That could do 1 of the next size up, or it could do like 2 of these. I'm gonna save it for the next size up, I think. I could do like 2 of the small ones and 1 of the big ones. This is probably just a small one. Yep. I could do 1 of each. That one can only do the next size up. One can only do the next size. I mean, it can do multiple of the smaller ones, but I think I'd rather use it for the next size up. Although, this is all I've got so far for that. I think we did this one already. That'll do 1 of each. That'll do 1 of each. Okay. That'll do 2 of those. We'll wait until we can join bigger. Yeah. Okay. I feel like I weighed this one already. It's the next size up. Okay. So these will do, how am I going to do this? These are my only ones that will only do the little ones. So let's start with those. And I've got black and white. Very exciting. So we're going to grab a few squares. And because I've got mostly dark ones, we'll do a white join. Alrighty. So what's everyone else working on today? While I wait for your answers to come in. Yesterday, I looked into getting a cat sitter for our next trip. And unfortunately, the very nice lady we had last time wasn't available. So I've got a new one coming, I think on Monday, to do the meet and greet with the kitties. Let's show her the lay of the land. I think I figured out what I want her to do when she gets here, that the cats would get everything they need. So I'm thinking, when she comes in, do the cat's snacks first. Sorry, Wolfie is here, so I'm not using the T word. Do the cat's snacks first so that Cam will take her medicine, because we mix her medicine in with her snack, the wet part of her snack. And part of Wolfie's dry snacks are the dental chews, but they're much lower calorie than the regular dry treat. Oh, I said the word. The regular dry snacks. She's still asleep. It's okay. They're bigger because they want to encourage the cat to actually chew them, but they're lower calorie, so she gets like 12 of them instead of like 4. I'm thinking I'll just switch them over because Cam doesn't have any teeth, so she just has like regular ones. I'm thinking I'll just switch Wolfie over to the same ones Cam's having, and we'll bring back the dental chews after. Oh, what am I doing? We'll just bring back the dental chews when we get home. Maybe it could be a very special I'm sorry kind of a snack for her. So yeah, do the snack first, then pick up well, all of these will be pick up the dishes from the previous day's iteration of this. So pick up the snack dishes, put down the new snack with the medicine in for Cam. And then do the wet food. And because Cam has special wet food that Wolfie just goes insane over, she just loves it so much, but Cam won't eat it multiple days in a row. She gets tired of it, and because it only comes in one flavor. Mama's a little picky eater. Actually, no, if she was picky like her mama, she would love to have the same food just every day. Good old reliable, right? So I'm thinking what we'll just do is have the cat sitter feed them both the same food as each other, but alternating between the special food and the regular food. So Cam doesn't get bored and will actually eat her food because she needs to gain weight. And there'll be less arguments with Wolfie if they both get the same food at the same time. The only trick is the cat sitter's gonna have to put the Cam's food up on her perch. Wolfie has not figured out how to get up onto the perch, and I don't think she's capable of jumping the way she needs to get up there. Because Cam does. Cam's figured it out, obviously. And that's where I've put her special dry food. So Cam's wet food, especially on the special food days, is going to have to go on her perch, or Wolfie will eat both of them. And Wolfie needs to lose weight. So no, I don't want her doing that. So I'm going to talk to the cat sitter about what time of day she was thinking of coming while we're gone. And first, slowly move Cam's medicine to that point of the day somehow. And because she has to take it every 24 hours. It probably doesn't matter super much, but still. Yeah, depending on what time of day she comes, Cam might already be up on her perch. And if so, that's perfect. She gets her food in her bed, you know, and Wolfie can eat in the dining room. But if she comes like first thing in the morning, like when I feed them breakfast, she's going to need to do some refereeing. There's more of this white left than I was anticipating, so I'm just going to weigh it in. Oh, that's not enough. Okay, let's make some squares out of it. Yeah, so after she gives them their food, and it will be basically twice what I give them for breakfast, because when we're home, we give them wet food twice a day. Once before I have breakfast and once before I have dinner. So she'll just have to do twice as much, and that's fine. And then the dry food, that's another tricky one because they're eating different dry foods, because Cam's dry food is freaking expensive. It's this tiny little bag. It's like I don't know, 1.5 by 1 foot wide maybe, and maybe that wide at the bottom, for like $70, compared to the giant bag that, like, it'd be too big to show on the screen right now, like this giant bag of regular food that's also about $70. So there's quite a difference in the I'm making 1 round squares, remember? One rounds. 1 single round. Right, so do the snack, then the wet food, then the dry food. I'm just trying to get it straight in my head. Although it's not me that has to do it, so, and then refresh the water dishes, and then scoop the litter box. I did refrain from scooping the litter box yesterday, just by a little. I actually, because force of habit is the strongest force in the universe. I had already had the bag in my hand to go scoop the litter into, and then I put it back where it was. I have a garbage can next to my desk here that is lined with a compostable bag or biodegradable bag, and I throw my tissues in there because in Calgary they take your tissues, your paper tissues, in the green bin. And so what I do is, as a way to stay on top of emptying that, is I just pull that bag out with the tissues in it and then throw the cat litter things on top, tie it up, throw it out, put a new bag in. So there was actually quite a lot of Kleenex in that bag today when I emptied the litter boxes. But it did do fine. Nobody pooped on the floor or peed in protest or anything, at least as far as I can tell. So I think I'm still going to get her to clean it out every day. I want things to be as nice as possible for the cats when we're gone. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, and the other problem is that our dishwasher is broken. And I don't know if I don't want to ask her to hand wash the cat dishes. So I'm going to do an inventory of the dishes we have and see how long they last, because we need basically 28 for the snacks, 28 for the wet food, and probably less than that for the water dishes. I basically use these square glass takeout containers. I think we got them from, they're not takeout containers, they're leftover containers. I think we got them from IKEA. And, you know, I put their water in that. And then every day I rinse it out and give the sides a bit of a wipe. And if it feels like my little wipe's not getting everything off, that's when I replace it. So it's like every couple of days. But definitely dump out all the water, give it a very good rinse and a wipe with just my finger, and refill. They seem fine with that. If the dishwasher was working, I'd probably wash it more often. We really need to fix that. I don't think we have time before we go away again, though. I mean, probably do. We've got like a month. But you know, we both struggle with executive function. I don't know. Anyway, now that we're ahead, what's the word? Ahead of needing the cat sitter. In fact, ahead of the meet and greet, I want to clear out some stuff in the basement so that it's easier for her to get to Cam's perch. Because right now we've got a stool there, which is perfectly sufficient if you're like 5'11". But we have a step stool that's better for people who aren't abnormally tall. So, but the way things are currently, there's no room for that step stool. I think a lot of it is like recycling though, so it shouldn't take too long to sort of clear a better place for the cat sitter to get to. Yeah, so anyway, that's kind of on tap for this afternoon, although I do want to start filming that newborn join. I meant to get it done while I was stuck sitting down for 5 days, but 2 of those days were the weekend, so that didn't happen. Oh, I finished my pain journal yesterday from the knee shot, which means I can start moving around again and not worry about pumping all that medicine out of my knee while I do it. So I am starting up my cardio again today. Don't know how long I'll be doing it for, especially considering I'm going to add in cleaning the basement a little. Yeah. Okay, the trick to filming that video though is that I don't hurt my back while I'm doing this, so I need to adjust my sitting position a little. Because, yeah. Anyway, everybody remember to stay hydrated. I'm going to take a drink. We can do a drinking game. Every time I say you take a sip. And every time I weave in an end, you take a big long gulp. Don't do that. You might get like water poisoning. Just have a little end here. I'm going to divide into thirds, I think. Add them to my ends that I'm going to try to spin together pile. Got to start thinking about what project I'm going to take. I don't know if I've even mentioned it actually. I must have on the live streams at some point, but we're going to Nova Scotia in July. I've never been to Nova Scotia. I've never been east of Quebec within Canada. And I'm very excited. I'm trying to think of what projects to bring with me to work on. First, we have the plane ride, which I think is 6 hours, I want to say. I do have that written down somewhere. But it's a pretty long flight, all things considered. So I'm going to think about what I'm going to be working on the plane, because I am definitely bringing a project to work on the plane. But then we're going to be there for 2 weeks-ish. And I'm not 100% clear on what we're all doing, but there's going to be at least 2 other people there who are almost certainly bringing projects to work on. Knitting or crochet. So I think I'm at sort of a crossroads, not a crossroads. I'm at cross purposes thinking about what project to bring for that, because I'm going to want to be social while I'm working on them. Not on the plane. I can't hear anybody on the plane anyway. But, you know, we're just lounging in the evening before bed. I'm going to want something that I can still be a little bit sociable with, which makes me think granny squares, right? Because I don't even have to look at those to make them. And my hands will just do them by itself, apparently. On the other hand, I'm very fast at granny squares. And so I'd need to bring an obscene amount of yarn. We do have extra space in our suitcase, though, because not knowing how many suitcases we would all need, basically the 4 of us that are flying in from Alberta each get a checked bag as part of our flight. But the other couple that are going has said that they're probably only going to need 1. And I'm like, I think probably me and C will only need 1. That's 2 extra bags I could put yarn in. But that seems insane, you know? Because what if there's like yarn shops there? Surely there are yarn shops there. Of course, the smaller yarn shops don't always sell things that I can use, but, you know, I'm still gonna pop in and probably get something. I don't know. Meanwhile, if I brought a project that takes me longer to do, like so I don't need as much yarn, it's not usually conducive to being social. Like on yesterday's stream, we designed a horse looking blanket. I'm still thinking about if I want to make any adjustments to it, but we got like a horse head with an optional unicorn horn. I could make the squares for that, make it a working vacation, so to speak. I have to say, when it comes to, like, if I was filling out a time card or something, time sheet like you do in like offices sometimes, um, it would look like I was working a lot, just so much, but only because most of the time when I'm crocheting, it's work related. Because when you're your own boss, you can turn whatever you're working on into work related stuff. Uh, so it could be a working vacation while not feeling like work because it's crocheting, right? Although it just hit me now, you know what I would like to bring with me to work to do is some painting supplies. Um, I, I'm really into watercolor painting and a little bit in acrylic, and I haven't done it in ages. Um, Patricia, can you remind me, are you playing the Harry Potter House Cup game? I feel like you are, but maybe you're not. I don't know. Or have you played it, maybe? Um, yeah, so I was really into watercolor painting. I've got some travel palettes, and I can bring like a sketchbook to work in or something. Or maybe I could make a sketchbook. That would be fun. Um, yeah. See, Patricia says, I used to knit socks when I was flying between PA and AZ regularly. I knit hats on trains. Yeah. Yeah, when I went out to Ontario, I made hats on the plane because I was doing the double-ended hook, so I didn't actually finish them while I was on the plane. That took, you know what? I might be able to make them in the time it takes to fly to Nova Scotia, though. Anyway, I was playing this Harry Potter themed role-playing craft-along game on Ravelry, and I got a little, well, I got very, let's see, what's the word? Um, nope, it's left my head. I used to focus a lot on the points, um, and how to sort of maximize them given what you were making. I never made anything for the game, but I turned in everything for the game. I just shoehorned it in there. Um, but to maximize my points, you really needed yardage. And so while you could turn in, say, a watercolor painting to this game and get points, you wouldn't get as many points as if you crocheted something and claimed the yardage. And near the end of my playing that game, I was always hoping that you're not on the HP boards. Okay. Yeah. So it was near the end of like the last couple of terms that I played. I was hoping for like a Quidditch prompt or a headmistress challenge that didn't have a yardage bonus, and then I could paint for it. And then I thought, this is dumb. This is dumb. I want to paint. I should just paint. I ended up stopping playing the game for a variety of reasons. Not the least in which, even though the people there don't support the author of the Harry Potter books, I felt like the game is encouraging some people to still spend money on it, and I didn't want to be part of that. I've got lots of friends there, though, so still keep in touch. Anyway, so one of my one of my goals now that I'm feeling better is to paint more. So Hopefully I don't have to start right at the beginning like I did before, because I still remember how to do it. I just don't know if my hands remember how to do it. But how cool would it be to, like, if we decided to go somewhere and I needed to rest because I've got bad knees, I could just set up somewhere and paint while the others go and, shop or swim in the ocean or whatever. I don't like being wet either. Although I am going to at least stick my foot in. Absolutely. But, if I need to rest and everybody else wants to still do something, I can just go with them and sit somewhere and paint, and they can catch up with me when they're done. Right? How cool would that be? I'd have like a painted memory book of the trip. So I need to go through my painting supplies to make sure, watercolor paint doesn't really dry out. I mean, it does. You just wet it again and it goes. One of the great things about watercolor. But like I want to make sure I've got like a travel palette that's got the colors I want in it, and a suitable, I'm thinking a book. I can always, when I get home, repaint something on like nicer paper if I really want to like display it or something. Okay. I crochet most days though. Usually every day. But I miss days sometimes if I get too busy. So I still want to bring something. Yeah, okay, Patricia's saying, I live very near to a bay. We have a tall ship associated with our city. Plenty of opportunities for painting. Yeah, I bet. Huh. I was telling the ladies at the condo meetup last week that Alberta doesn't have any lakes. And they're like, what are you talking about? This it does. I was like, yeah, I grew up on Lake Ontario. Alberta doesn't have any lakes. They've got puddles. But yeah, it was very easy to go see some nice big ships when I lived in southern Ontario. Although I guess because we're going in July, we're probably not going to see any icebergs going by. I feel like it's not the season for them. But what do I know? I've never been east of Quebec. We went on a ski trip to Saint Donat when I was in grade 8. I still have some memories from that. It's the weirdest things that you remember, right? Like when we were in Saint Donat, we went to a restaurant to eat, and it was all of the grade 8 classes. I was in French immersion, so there was one French immersion class, and then there was like 3 English classes. Tall Ship Festival this summer. I live on Lake Erie. Nice. Nice. I feel like I've been to the Tall Ship Festival. Do they do it? Have they been doing that for a while? Like we went to Lake Erie every summer, and my parents used to go over to the U.S. side of Erie on my aunt and uncle's boat. So, but yeah, I went to summer camp on Lake Erie, right next to like this really polluting power plant or whatever it was. Yeah, so we were in Saint Donat. The 4 grade 8 classes were out at a restaurant eating together, and the wait staff were saying some pretty rude things about us in French. And when they got to me, I don't know if any of my French immersion friends, well, my classmates, thought this too, but when they came over to me, I ordered my meal in perfect French. And the look on their faces was, it's like, oh shoot, did this kid hear what we were saying? And then I explained to them after, it's like, yeah, we're, about a quarter of us are in the French immersion class, and the English kids won't make fun of us too, so don't stop on my account, basically. We had a good laugh, and I'm hoping that meant there was no spit in my food, but whatever. I had a blast on that trip, skiing very slowly down the bunny hill over and over and over again. Like, literally, that's all I did. I'd never skied before, so I learned how to ski there, and I wasn't going very fast, but it was so much fun. I don't think I ever skied again either. Oh, we might have done cross-country skiing in Girl Guides, but I feel like that would have been around the same time, maybe? I don't know how old Girl Guides are. I think it's the same as Girl Scouts in the US. I want to say it's like 11 to 14, in which case that is around the same time. We also went snowshoeing. That's exhausting. I think maybe the snowshoes were too big for us because, we were just kids. But, oh boy, was walking in snowshoes exhausting. If you ever need a workout, leg day or something, well, maybe it's more cardio, I don't know. I highly recommend snowshoes. Although I've seen snowshoes these days, like the really high-tech looking ones that are much smaller than the ones we were using. So, what was that? I think one of my cats just made a weird noise. Or it was my chair. Years later, I went to Montreal with an old girlfriend of mine. It was for a powwow, I think, something like that. She was First Nations. And I was like, wow, you know what? I'm not fluent in French anymore, but I can see how much I remember. So I was just walking around, I don't know, downtown, I guess, or near the hotel anyway. And there was like a church that was having some kind of walk-in, I don't know what it was now. I don't remember. Maybe a concert of some kind. I can't remember. But it was just like a free thing. You went in and you said, sat down and did whatever the do was. So I walked in and I said, bonjour. And they said, oh, hello. How can we help you? And I'm like, is my French that bad? It's possible that person wasn't very good at French and so just decided to go for the English hoping, but it was very odd. Yeah, so let's see, what do I need to do ahead of this trip to Nova Scotia? I need to clean the basement a little more. Then I need to, closer to before we leave, I'm going to reset the litter boxes, like empty them completely, clean them with soapy water, that sort of thing. Get all fresh new litter in before we leave. But before this cat sitter meet and greet thing, I think I'm going to vacuum around them. I think that's it. Well, now just pack and go, right? Extra hugs for my cats, maybe? All right, let's update our spreadsheet. Move that over there so we can use it more easily. All right, so we've taken 4 out, minus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've added 8. Alrighty, let's do the black one now. I have a lot of white rounds in here now. Not in my childhood, the last 30 years ago, so we've had them periodically. I think the ship's festival in different ports each year. Yeah, that could be it. I just feel like it's the sort of thing that my aunt and uncle would have wanted to go see, and they might have taken my parents along with them, because my aunt and uncle had a sailboat, and they were going to Erie, Pennsylvania all the time in the summer, all the time, every couple of years. You know, they'd go and then I think they had to phone like customs or border control when they got across the lake. Where's the end? Like, that's one end. I think that's the outside end. Yeah, that's the outside end. This is a hand wound ball. Is this the outside end? It's gotta be. Yeah, okay. So where's the other end? I never have this problem. Why are you having this problem? Well, it's because it's black and I can't see it. Aha, uh-huh. Found it. I wonder if the blue noses are still around. And if that's the wrong province. Let me just... I didn't need to do any of that. Stop, stop, stop. Okay. Blue nose ship. It's on the Canadian dime, or 10-cent piece. Tourist attraction in Canada. Nova Scotia. But is it near the part of Nova Scotia we're going to be at? That's a good question. Where are we going to be? It's on Lunenburg. Where is, oh my gosh, where are we going? We're going, all right, this must be fascinating for you to watch. I need a map. I'm going to zoom right out of Canada and go over to Nova Scotia. Okay, there's Lunenburg, Peggy's Cove. No, it's quite a ways away, actually. Is that the Trans-Canada Highway on a ferry? I've done that at the other end of the country. Where does it go? It goes to St. Pierre and Miquelon? No, it doesn't. It goes to Newfoundland. That makes sense. Trans-Canada Highway, or Highway 1 in Canada, runs east-west. And it's quite a big deal when it went to everywhere. But we've got like these islands on either side of the mainland, so there are ferries. It actually runs straight through the middle of Calgary. It's called 16th Street in Calgary. but it was never a big part of my growing up because it has to do a weird geek down into Southern Ontario, and it's just not called that there. So I'd never really thought about it until we moved from Ontario to Alberta, because we drove the car there. It was going to cost about the same amount of money to drive the car there as it would to have it shipped and us flying. So I was like, you know what? I think I'd rather drive, because I've always wanted to see all of Canada. And this would be a good opportunity to do it. Yeah, it took us like 2 days just to get out of Ontario. And then less than a day to get across Manitoba. Like it was a very weird thing. But it wasn't until we got up to, I think, Sudbury before we actually got on to the Trans-Canada. Like the real one, not the weird little deep down into Ottawa. Well, actually, no, it doesn't deep down into Ottawa. The little deep down into Toronto. I think technically we were on it before then, technically. But we picked it up like north of Barrie or something. Anyway, it was a very interesting drive, even through the flat parts. We had really old intel before we did that drive. Okay, Patricia's saying, I've never done it. Border Patrol has only recently come to Erie. The Coast Guard may have had the responsibility. Maybe. I just know that there was a specific port they had to go sail into and then get out and use the phone there. I'm sure it's different now. This was like in the 80s. I mean, the whole border situation really changed a lot after 9/11. Before that, we could go across the border with just our driver's license as ID. Now we need a passport, which isn't that huge a deal. A large percentage of Canadians have passports. Although I think mine is expiring next year. I did it for 10 years. Yeah, that was the weird thing is I got the pictures taken for my passport, but then I procrastinated on actually submitting everything. And then when I actually did submit everything to get my passport, they said my pictures were too old because they had to be taken within like 6 months or something. And it's like, but I don't look any different. And the passport's going to be good for 10 years. It just seemed like a odd rule. So I went and got new pictures taken. I guess I'll have to do that again. Yeah, Bordy came after 9/11, yeah. Yeah, and by the early 2000s, my family had stopped sailing. Like my aunt and uncle were no longer able to do it, and that was the only reason why my parents were able to do it. So, sorry, my nose is being a little bit annoying right now. I don't believe this is enough because it looks like less than I had left of the white, but let's just check it. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure what all we are going to be doing in Nova Scotia, but I think it's mostly to visit each other, because the other half of our party is flying in from Scotland. The Scotland in the UK, not the Scotland in Ontario. But by the time we go, I will have had both knees shots, like the cortisol shots in my knees. And so I should be having a really good couple of weeks as far as physical health goes, is what I'm hoping. But, and you know what I'm going to look up before we go is there's a YouTuber called The Frugal Crafter, and she's got some advice on travel palettes and stuff. So I might look through her videos and see if I can find a couple of those. Okay. Let's see, what else can we talk about today? Oh, today's Wednesday. That means tomorrow's live stream is going to be later than today's. It is currently almost 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Tomorrow's stream is going to start around 1 p.m. Mountain Time, which is, let's see, 3 hours from now, but tomorrow. Oh, our condo is having a potluck barbecue thing. We signed up to go. I need to think about what we're going to bring. They want, the condo is providing the meat and the barbecue, and so we're supposed to bring a side or a dessert. I don't think I have enough to make this. Now, I'm not known for cooking. Like, I make a mean bowl of cereal. That doesn't seem like good barbecue fare, though. But I might make a dessert. I do okay with baking. Baking's very precise. I appreciate that about baking. There's no pinch of this and dash of that. It's all, 2 tablespoons of this and 5 teaspoons of that. I like it even better when it gives me the grams. I'll just weigh it, thanks. I've got a couple. I could make Nanaimo bars. I think I have a recipe for that. It just feels very Canadian. If you've never heard of a Nanaimo bar, you're missing out. They're so nice. It's a no-bake bar. It's like a graham cracker and coconut and chocolate base. And then there's like a custard in the middle, and then a chocolate ganache on top. It's so good. They're from Nanaimo, BC. I mean, if I don't manage to actually get anything made, I can just go to the store and buy like a couple of veggie trays. That's what we usually bring to potlucks. This is the store-bought veggie trays. And if it's with C's family, we also add in another bag of baby carrots because boy, howdy do we go through them at those get-togethers. Everyone loves a good baby carrot, I guess. Yeah, the last condo ladies meetup, I mentioned that I could bring napkins. I don't think anybody got the joke. It's a reference to corner gas. Corner Gas is a Canadian sitcom based in rural Saskatchewan. And in one of the episodes, they have a town potluck, and one of the characters is complaining that one of the other characters always signs up to bring napkins, and that's not a lot of work, and it's not fair that they always get to bring the napkins instead of working hard and making a dish. And insanity ensues. But yeah, basically the one who's complaining decides they're going to sign up for the napkins before the other guy can, and insanity ensues and they forget to bring the napkins. But it's okay. The guy who usually brings napkins had backups in his car. Because jokes are always funniest when they're explained, I'm going to say that the episode's funnier than I'm making it sound. But yeah, I have a amazing number of regular lines I say just in regular life that turned out to be just quotes from that show. No, I think that is how you spell Nanaimo. Nanaimo. Pretty sure. I have been to Nanaimo and I bought a Nanaimo bar and I had my picture taken in front of a establishment called the Nanaimo Bar. It's a bar in Nanaimo. A Nanaimo bungee jumping story. I'd been to Nanaimo. It didn't look like there was anywhere to go bungee jumping. We weren't there for very long though. We were mostly just driving through and stopped to get a bar. It was so hot that day too. The bar was very melty when I ate it. It was so melty. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to try an Nanaimo bar, take it. They're very good, especially if you like sweet things. They're very good. Could also do, I could make chocolate dainties. I'll have to put vanilla in. I learned fairly recently that I can't taste vanilla. And so when I was making my chocolate dainties, it's my mom's recipe. I don't know where she got it from. It calls for vanilla, but we didn't have vanilla once and I made them and they tasted exactly the same. The only time I've ever tasted vanilla was the time I was making these chocolate dainties, and instead of measuring, I decided I'll just do like a blorp, right? Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to come out as fast as it did. So instead of getting like the 2 tablespoons or whatever it was, I ended up with like half a cup. And yeah, I could taste it then. It tasted like alcohol a little bit, which doesn't taste like much to me. It just tastes bad. They were still edible. Like the sugar and the cocoa and the other ingredients were up to the challenge of making them edible, but ooh, they were only just. So if I make them, I'm going to measure the and put the vanilla in. Or peanut butter balls. Yeah, those are a bit iffy for me to make. Remember one year I made them and I put them outside to chill, and that attracted the squirrels. It was like the poor guy, he couldn't get at the peanut butter balls, but boy did he ever want to. I think Wolfie could have figured it out. I don't think Cam could have. But yeah, when I saw the squirrel getting obsessed about the box I put them in, I decided to clear a spot on the shelf in the freezer instead. Because it was, I think I made them for Christmas or something. It was winter by then. I think I need new glasses. I'm finding the only way I can weave these black ends in is if I hold the piece close to my face and look under my glasses. Because my up close vision is fine. It's, I'm nearsighted though. And my glasses won't let me put it close enough to my face for it to be able to see it well, if that makes sense. Before it does that weird thing where you're farsighted and you can't see things up close. I don't know. I've got a mental block about getting my eyes checked. I need to figure out how to work through that because I desperately need new glasses. Not even just like a new prescription. Like I probably need a new prescription, but I need new frames too. These ones are so old. They're getting ratty. Vegan Nanaimo bars, yeah? I think you could probably do it too. I'm trying to think of what's not vegan in them. I can't remember the recipe. I don't know if there's like eggs or milk. But yeah, I think you could. Where is my tracking? There we go. So -4 +3. All right, so now we have 3. I'm gonna mix up my, oh, the custard and the butter, yeah. See, and I'm not very good at food things, so it didn't even occur to me the custard would be a problem, because I don't know, custard's got eggs in it, I guess, yeah. Or like evaporated milk or something like that. It's been so long since I've made them. In fact, I don't think I've ever made them myself. I think I helped Mom make them. She had a hard time mixing the bottom layer. Okay, let's grab a few. I'm gonna do the green. Let's take the green ones out, and the duplicates. Yeah. They are decadent. They are so decadent. That's the word. So this potluck thing's not until, it's not for a couple of weeks now. And I'm thinking I could make this, like whatever I'm going to make soon. But if I do that, we're going to eat them. It's one of the benefits of just hitting the grocery store for the veggie tray just before going to the potluck is that you don't have time to eat it all. Or I could get C to make something. He's pretty good at savory dishes, and he's better at cooking. Ooh, maybe he can make some scalloped potatoes. I like scalloped potatoes. But then we'd need a dish to bring it in. And how do we keep it warm? I wonder what the forecast is for that day. Also, I think the rain day for this potluck is while we're away, so yeah. I just brought hummus veggie tray and a bean and veggie salad. One of my cousins usually makes something I can eat. Oh, that's got to be hard. Yeah, when you've got special food things that you gotta cover, always bring something you can eat, because it might be the only thing you can eat. I've already confirmed that none of the meat's gonna be fish, so I'll be okay that way. But yeah, hummus is a good idea. Speaking of, I need to get C to make me some hummus. I like hummus, except for I don't like the taste of raw garlic, so I can't just buy it at the store because they all have raw garlic in them. He's thinking about putting roasted garlic in it, which I'd be fine with because I can't taste cooked garlic. I can only taste the raw stuff and it's terrible. So hummus would be nice. Although, well, yeah. I haven't met all of our neighbors yet, so I don't know how to put this politely, how rednecky they are. It is Alberta, you know, beef country. It's basically like Montana in the US or Texas. On the other hand, at the last meetup, one of them was sad that the local Indian restaurant was closed. So 33 minus 9 is 24. I could do another 4 with this. Oh, we're not using that for the next stage, so we can do quite a number of these actually. I've already got enough green. Yeah, I have a history of bad. Well, I have a hard time with potlucks because I've got my seafood allergy, and also I am a picky eater, and people don't just bring like green beans, right? They don't just bring cooked green beans. They gotta mix in a sauce and put crumbly bits on top, and I don't know what any of that is, so I'm not going to eat it despite loving green beans. If you just brought the green beans, I probably would have wanted to eat all of them. But C has said he wants to go to this barbecue thing too, so I can get him to tell me what's in the stuff. Done it for 13 years now. It doesn't faze me. Roasted garlic hummus is one of my favorites. Yeah, roasted red pepper, caramelized onion, dark chocolate hummus. Okay, I can't do dark chocolate, and I know it's not as sweet as like milk chocolate is. So yeah, I can kind of see how that would work. That just sounds weird. But then when I was a kid, I never would have touched hummus, not knowing what it was. And I'm glad I didn't, because I would have written it off. It's only after working with C on all my neuroses when it comes to food. Just frosting in disguise. Yep, not that makes sense. It's like how all muffins are really just cupcakes. Also, there's nothing wrong with frosting. I got a birthday coming up. That's going to be a focus. Won't be hummus frosting though. It'll be buttercream. I don't think you would enjoy how I celebrate my birthday, thinking through all the things. It is not vegetarian friendly. Not even remotely. Not vegan friendly at all. Oh dear. What day of the week is my birthday on? On a Tuesday. I mean, we're probably not going to be live streaming that day, but we've got a while before then. The way I celebrate my birthday is that I do not do anything that I don't want to do to the best of my ability. So if I don't feel like going out, I don't go out. I always want cake though, so I always get cake. Although when I order it from the grocery store, they get a little confused by what I want them to do. It's like, I want a chocolate cake and I want buttercream icing. And it's like, okay, and what kind of design do you want? It's like, I don't know, have some fun with it. They're like, okay, but what do you want? It's like, it's for me. I'm getting this for me. It's my birthday. So if you feel like practicing your calligraphy on a cake, go ahead and put happy birthday. But like, I just want to eat it. And I don't know, I like rainbows and I don't want the colors to be too dark. Go. Practice your flowers if you want. I don't care. If you want to try, if you need some practice at your basket weave technique, go ahead and do that. Plain cookies and fruit are great with the chocolate hummus. Doesn't have to be dark, but I'm a bittersweet person. Sure, yeah. Cookies and fruit. Yeah, I could see how that would be the case. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to make a note of that and tell C about it. I probably won't want it, but I think he might want to try it. Oh, this is a really thick one. Well, whatever. he likes dark chocolate, so. And he likes trying new recipes and all of that jazz, so I'm going to suggest that to him. I need more 1 round squares. They're all of a piece in here. There's lots of blue, lots of green, lots of white, very little of the other colors. I do have a bag beside me of very small bits of yarn that are not long enough to do this join, like to join the 4 1 round squares together. So I think I might pull those out next. And I'm not going to suggest to him that we take that to the potluck on account of I don't think that the first attempt should be a gift. Just generally, in a potluck, the dish you bring could be considered akin to a gift. At least never count on your first attempt to be the gift. Beginner's luck is a thing, so. Like, oh, I made my mom years and years and years ago a pin cushion that looked like a glazed donut. And I was thinking, you know, this one's getting pretty old and ratty. I should make her a new one. And couldn't figure, like, if I sat there for longer, I could have figured out how to do it. But I was like, how did I even do this? I winged it is what I did. Pretty sure I did like a dark brown tube that I stuffed and sewed up. Pretty sure that's how I did that. And then I worked sort of in the round and did like a wiggly thing and then sewed it on, like in white, to make the glaze. And then stuck a bunch of ball tip pins in to be the sprinkles, but also to include some pins. She doesn't need a pin cushion anymore though, so maybe I do now. Ooh, if I was going to make my own pin cushion, I could make a donut, but what other amazing things could I do? I could do a hedgehog. That'd be funny. What else? What else has like things sticking out of them? Little voodoo doll. Hmm. Hmm. Wolfie is snoring away. it possible for a cat to have sleep apnea? I've never noticed her stop breathing though, just that she snores. A cat with sleep apnea sounds very expensive. I gotta say. I'm gonna line this up again. Normally I'd go to the end, but I'm kind of done with the green right now, so. I'll wind it so it doesn't turn into a giant knot, hopefully. Anyway, if you're watching, feel free to say hello in the chat. Let us know what you're working on. I am weaving in entirely too many ends. It's just part of my life now. All right. Let's weigh this real quick and see. Yeah, I could do one more and then make some squares. Not feeling it at the moment though. Okay, I think my Coke is done, so I'm gonna have some water. Patricia says, baby is sleeping, ends are being woven in less than 20. Nice. Oh, did I give you guys the update for my doctor's appointment? I don't think I did. First thing, I got weighed when I was there. I specifically asked when I made the appointment if I could get another weigh-in. And I wanted to do that to see if my home scale was accurate. Like, as far as I could tell, if I weigh a sleeve of pop on it, it's 10 pounds, which is exactly right for what it's supposed to weigh. It's got like 12 cans in it, plus the cardboard or whatever. But I wasn't at all sure if, you know, it's fine. It's fine at smaller weights, but what about at my weight? And so what I did was, before my appointment, I weighed myself on my home scale and I wrote it down. And then I went to the doctor's office, a doctor's appointment, and I took off my shoes and emptied my pockets so that it was the same conditions as at home. And I weighed myself there, and it was only out by 0.1 kilograms, which is almost nothing really. So it's a rounding error is what that is. So I'm good to go there. I don't care how much I weigh. I don't think that by itself it's a good indicator of health, but there's a procedure I'm on a waiting list for that requires a BMI under 31, which I can do. But there is some disagreement on how tall I am, which affects what weight I need to go down. So I am going to assume, since at my doctor's office, when they took my height, I was closer to 5'10" than the 5'11" that I know that I am, because I used a laser level, right? I was on a perfectly flat floor. I used laser level. I know that I'm closer to 5'11", but if the scale at the doctor's office is going to you know, just a quick and dirty measurement says 510, I'm going to go to the 510 amount, which means instead of a goal of under 222 pounds, I need to get under 216, I think it is. Which I know I can do because I've been there already. I had a backslide on account of my health when I had when I was rushed to the hospital last summer, but I'm feeling better now. Right? Like I feel like I'm almost 100%. Like I would have said 95% a couple weeks ago. I feel like I'm getting very close to 100% if I'm not there already. So I can get the ball rolling again. In fact, that's another thing I got to do today. Oh, I already said that, I think, the cardio. I've got my card for it. Cardio. It's not going to be 30 minutes though, because I got to look. I'm keeping track of how long I'm doing it. I think, trying to remember. I think I was up to like 26 minutes before I had to stop because of the knee shot thing. But I think my last workout was only like 10 minutes because I was doing a lot of like physical things that day. So I didn't want to be completely worn out before I had to do all the things I had to do. So probably do 20 minutes today. We'll see how I feel. Always got to go by how I feel. That's why I use the card deck for my to keep organized for my scheduling, because I never really know what I can do in a given day until I wake up that morning. So the card deck lets me move things around without having to keep crossing them off and rewriting them, because every time I cross one off and rewrite it, I feel a little bit of shame, right? It's like, why can't you just get this done? It's like, because you got stuff that's happening. It's fine. It's fine. The downside to the card deck is you don't have a record of what you've done. So every now and again, when I feel like I really need that record, I do a regular sort of planner, like a bullet journal type of thing, but I write down the things that I accomplished during the day rather than like a checklist of to-dos. It's a done list. Yeah, instead of to-do, it's a have done. And I like that sort of tactile, visual, moving things around-ness to it. Okay. So that's what, minus 12? Well, I think Wolfie's coming to visit. I did rattle in a bag just now, so that's on me. Hi, Pookie. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go in the window? Okay. Leave the window. Anyway, I've got this kind of a dusty rose color to start with for my one rounds. Usually with balls this small, I will save them for stringing squares together in join order. But I hadn't done that yet when I was sorting out the yarn for this project. So. And Wolfie's back again. Hello. Hi. Yeah. Really is a hard knock life, isn't it? I'm just going to move over so everybody can see your pretty little back. Ow. And then I'm going to hit the camera stand. Yep. Hi. Belly rubs for my baby? Yeah, belly rubs. Still haven't gotten that new chair yet. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, say hi to everybody. Hi everybody. Yeah, hi. Here we are. Your bright white whiskies. Yeah. There we go. Okay, all done? Face smushes. Okay, face smushes. Face smushes. I did think I didn't have quite enough cat hair on this shirt. Yeah, I did think that. Maybe the reason I'm warm all the time is because I'm covered in cat fur. Yeah. Is that it? Okay. I think all done, yeah? All done? Mama's working. How did we get hair caught in that? Okay. Here we go. Onto the bed. Nope, onto the bed. Please don't. Oh. My phone has fallen down again. Sorry about this camera work here. Good enough. Back to the dusty rose. Let's move that out of the way. And here she comes again. Hi. No. Let me finish this square first. Yeah, meow. Oh, meow. I don't want to change the camera again. It took too long to put it back. Yeah, it took too long. Everyone remember to stay hydrated. It's good for you. Right? Is it good for you? Have you hydrated, Pookie? I saw you looking at the water dish. You should have drunk some water from the water dish. I just refreshed it before we came on the stream. Oh, I did. Yes, I did. Okay. Now what? Ah, baby. I don't think that's enough to make another square. you, baby. No? Is it not enough? This is the state of my end box now. I emptied this when we sorted the colors. That's a better angle probably. How does it look on the camera? Is it too glary? I can't tell. Anyway, I think you can see it would squish down like that. It's still quite a lot. This project is certainly helping. No, no. Just trying to eat my mini eggs. They're bad for you. Do you see yourself on the TV? Yeah, she's watching herself. Specifically her tail. That is funny. Oh yeah, you can see the whiskers. Yeah, did you see yourself on the TV? Mm-hmm. Oh, tail's got her attention again. Yeah, what's that? Because of the delay, I don't think she realizes it's her. Yeah, is that you? Can I crochet again? You saving me from all the ends I gotta weave in. I gotta do them anyway. You're just in the way then. Can you move? She's like, I am moving. See my tail? It's moving all over the place. Here, what if I move this? You want to go up here? Yeah, go right here. Make some more room. There you go here. Yeah, go up there. Turn around. Yep. And right there. See? I mean, you're blocking my view of the video, but you're out of the... Okay. Well, I got space, I guess, here. Although, are you on my darning needle? No. Okay. You're playing with the... You're futzing with the auto zoom, though. Uh-oh. Yeah, she's settled in now. Yeah, you helping? You helping? Yeah. She's very good at helping. If you define helping as being in the way, she's excellent at helping. Why does this feel weird? I don't know. It feels weird. We're going to start again. Granny squares should not feel weird. Not to me. Got something weird happening in this spreadsheet. Oh, I see. I think it's just where I finished hovering over. it almost looked like I had some hidden columns, except for the hidden columns would have been between G and H, and that didn't make sense. G and H are right next to each other. There's no G and a half. Although, wouldn't that be funny? G and a half. I suppose you could have G and a half in like algebra. Right, Pookie? Her tail really does look kind of snake-like, doesn't it? I've had my friends on Zoom mention that when she comes on my lap, because I have the camera facing me, when she comes on my lap, all you can see is her tail flicking around. My friends is like, it looks like you've got a snake. I see it now. Yeah. How you doing? Hey, how you doing, Pookie Boo? You okay? Mama's silly little girl. Yeah, you mama's silly little girl. Of course you are. Okay, that end's a little too long. Let's cut it in half. Quite a journey with this project, because I was originally thinking, well, this will be a way to use up my 1 round squares that I've already made. And then it was a case of, you know, after I was joining them, I had these little bits of yarn left from the join. I was like, oh, well, I can make some 1 round squares with that because there's just a little bit left. And then it's like, oh, well, I feel like I'm not actually using up my 1 round squares. I'm just sort of replacing them. And now I'm making more 1 round squares. It's quite the story arc there. Yeah, Wolfie's just sitting here, looking around, doing her best to be in the way. Oh, don't think that's enough. No. Ah, sorry, guys. Check. Framing. Oh, this wasn't that bad, I guess. All right, well, that was Wolfie, everybody. Say goodbye, I guess. Bye, Wolfie. It's very Eastery, although the yellow's a bit bold. Basically, our goal with these 1 round squares is not blue, green, or white. So far, so good. You're too high. Oh, so updates from my doctor's appointment. He is trying to get me a referral to a geneticist. I'm hoping I can find out what chromosomes I have. So I have a requisition for an ultrasound, which I am doing next week, I think. I don't think it's tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's next week. Oh, next Thursday. I think it's next Thursday, in which case we're not going to be doing the live stream at all that day because I'll be getting an ultrasound. It's one of those ones where you got to have a full bladder. It's always a chore. This yarn's a bit splitty. Is there enough of it though? Nah. Maybe if I use a smaller end at the beginning. Let's try that. Yep, that did it. I think I also crocheted just a tiny bit tighter. Great thing about granny squares is your gauge can vary quite a bit and it'll all still work together. Let's weave these in. Patricia says, I have a bedding bag filled with 1-rounds and leftover squares. I go through it when I start a new project. Nice. Well, and if you wanted to use up your 1-round squares and not go insane, like I have apparently done, you can use them to make bigger squares. Like, for example, I took 4 of them and I made a 4-round square equivalent. You can tell by counting the groups of 3 double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is equivalent to a 4-round square. So with your 1-round squares, you can get any even numbered square, if that makes sense. Like you could do a 3x3 and get a 6-round square equivalent. If you wanted odd round numbers of, well, you could just put another round on this and now it's a 5-round square, right? Because with the continuous join as you go, I usually add that extra round. So it could be your 5-round, or you could use 2-round squares. If you had the same thing with 2 rounds, what would that be? That'd be 3, 6, what? It'd be a 6-round square, so don't listen to me. Anyway, you could play with it that way if you really want to. But it's actually what I think I will end up doing with any leftover ones from this project. It's hard to imagine some leftover ones, but it's going to happen. I'm going to end up with these little bits that a 1-round square is the only thing I can make with them. or the only thing I want to make with them. Ooh, welcome back, Wolfie. What do you want? Hi. I'm leaving in ends, baby. It's enough of a chore as it is. Yeah, I don't need any help. Yeah. I think she wants me to have lunch. You know, we're out of the freezer meals, so I'm probably just gonna have eggs again, and you don't like eggs. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You can lick the plate after. Yeah, you liked that. A little bit of butter, a little salt. Probably not enough for you. Yeah, I kissed you on the nose. Yeah. Meow. Yeah, I was thinking the other day, maybe I shouldn't work on this when I'm not on the live stream, right? And then I realized how long it's going to take and decided I'm going to work on this when I'm not on the live stream because, you know, I want to finish it at some point while I'm still alive and making videos. 2 hours a day would take a very long time. Okay, so Wolfie's out of frame mostly, but she's in the way of me seeing the chat. Yeah. If you tangle those ends, I'm going to be fairly upset, you know that. On the other hand, you do seem like you're having fun dividing them up. Yeah. We'll be done soon, sweetums. I just wanted to weave these ends in first. Yeah, I just wanted to weave the ends in. And now you're mixing up all the squares. Haven't I woven the ends in on one of them yet? I did. Okay, it's over there. Okay. Putting them under my laptop so they can't get disturbed as much. I have a very sophisticated cooling system for my laptop, which is my computer. It's a knitting loom that it's sitting on, so it gets the air underneath. It's one of the big rings. I don't use those as often, and I've got a bunch of that size, so it was perfect. Pookie, if you were doing that facing away thing because you're mad, it's not working. You're just being too adorable at it. Entirely too adorable. Sorry, I just had an idea. I need to write it down before I forget. And no, I'm not sharing it on the live. If you want a preview of my patterns, I recommend you join my Ravelry group and you'll see when the tests go up. I used to have a thread on Ravelry with like my sketches and stuff that I was working on, but I found that not all of my sketches actually turn out to be anything, and I felt like I was almost lying. I mean, I don't feel like I was lying, but it felt dishonest. It's like I felt like, oh, I shouldn't have shared this. Like if I'd known I wasn't going to go anywhere with it, I wouldn't have shared it. Maybe I need to just get over that. Or I could just list things once I know they're going forward, something like that. I don't know. What I should do, and I'm going to should myself here, is figure out how testing codes work on Ravelry. I saw yesterday that they've got a little how-to guide. I should look at that because I tried it once and I could not figure it out. I think the way that I understood it, which is probably wrong, is that you get a testing code and all your testers put that code in where the pattern name should be in their project pages. And then when the pattern goes live, it automatically adds them to that project or to that pattern as projects or something. So. Sorry, I'm just looking around the cat here. I've been waiting for the next Lapgan tests. Well, we did that one scrapgan that we did yesterday might be Lapgan sized. But yeah, I can definitely look at doing more Lapgans. I like getting requests because then I feel like sometimes I wonder if I'm getting too repetitive, right? It's like, how many Lapgan patterns do we really need? For me, infinite numbers. That's the answer. And Wolfie's gone now, so I can see the chat live again. I think the scrapgan design yesterday was a bit wide for Lapgan, but I'm not sure that wide is a problem for Lapgans necessarily. I'll have to look at it again to get the size. At any rate, yeah, with this whole GI bleed that I had last summer, my whole life has been in disarray because I haven't had the energy to keep up with all of the different moving parts, but I'm feeling much better. And I'm going to get back on the wagon, or in the habit, or whatever the expression is. And yeah, but I think despite how sort of far ahead that I usually work, I think I've blown entirely through that buffer zone. So there's going to be, I think we're in the lull for the testing right now, which will be followed by the lull in pattern releases. But we can get that rolling again soon. Patricia says, I use that size for gifts for children, grandchildren, and hospice patient donations, and will supply them. Yeah. See, and that's where I am too. I donate all the pattern samples, and the newborn, the Lapgans, the child size, they're always needed. I think they also always need twin size. And I'm one of the few blanketeers they have that are making them that big. I do have a twin sized pattern in the works, all squared away. I think I need more 6 round squares for it. I was going to lay it out to see what it looks like. Length is more important than width, but narrow is better for wheelchair users. That is good to know. Is there a do you have any sizes that you prefer, like in inches or? Because I was thinking lapgans would be more like 3 feet by 4 feet, roughly. That's what I was aiming for. But my eye for the size of things like that is a little skewed because my entire family's very tall. So, and proportionally big. So, but I tend to err on the side of too big, but because I figure you can always fold it over. But I could see how if you're in a wheelchair all the time, you wouldn't want it bunching on each side, right? Like between your hips and the sides of the wheelchair. That makes sense. 42 inches is as wide to go for wheelchairs. That is good to know. I'll write it down. You don't want them caught in the wheels. Ah, yeah, for the part that's hanging down over your legs. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Well, I've made a note of it, so I know what to aim for. I'm just guessing from what I vaguely remember from yesterday, the one we designed yesterday is going to be too wide. Good for the kids, though. I was thinking it was probably a child size rather than a lapgan, but it's a common problem in human thinking of putting things into categories. All the categories have very fuzzy edges, right? Like, what's the difference between a lapgan blanket and a child's blanket? There's no reason why a child's blanket couldn't be the same dimensions as the lapgan. It would work just fine. Life is just a series of overlapping Venn diagrams. It's like planets. If you think about what a planet is, when we first conceived of the idea of planets, we did not include Earth as one of them, but the moon and the sun were. And then when we thought, okay, no, the moon is not a planet, and the sun is not a planet, but Earth is a planet, and so is Jupiter. It's like, well, hang on, Earth and Jupiter, they have some things in common, like they both orbit the sun, right? But one's a rocky planet, one's a gas giant. But they're both still planets, right? So we can say, well, if it's orbiting a star, then it's a planet. And until we found exoplanets, or not exoplanets, rogue planets. Exoplanets are just planets that are circling around a different star. But rogue planets have been like ejected from their solar system and are just sort of flying through space. So they don't have that orbiting a star thing in common, but they're still a planet. So it's like trying to nail down the definition of planet. It's got to include both rocky planets and gas giants and planets that are orbiting stars and also planets that aren't orbiting stars. And yeah. As far as I can tell, a moon is something that's orbiting a planet. And since we don't know really what a planet is, or it's like fish. The word fish, if you were trying to include every animal that we consider to be fish, right? Like just saying fish. If we include every single animal that we consider to be a fish, then we have to make the definition of fish so broad that it also will include human beings in the fish category. So humans like to put things in boxes, but things like to spill out of the boxes. Or as I've heard it said, there's no such thing as a true binary, including this one. Going a bit long today, but I want to weave these ends in, and I think I might abandon them if I turn the camera off. While I'm weaving these in, let me get out my calendar to see what's coming up. We've got 3 patterns. I'm going to be away when those next 2 are released. That's not going to work. I think I know what I'm doing immediately after I get off the video is reschedule the ends of those tests. But yeah, I have releases scheduled until August, and then I got nothing. Let me check. Yeah. So I do have that newborn blanket pattern. I'm hoping to be finished soon so it can go out for testing. That will give us our second one for August, depending on when I get it done. I do like to do 2 a month if I can. And if I came up with, oh, and then that scrap one that we designed yesterday could come out in September. I could do another lap GAN or 6. How much time would that give people to actually make them? I feel like, because we're in June now, right? So 2 months sounds like enough for a lap GAN test. It's too small. Yeah, so what I'm thinking, strategic-wise, hey, that's the word I was looking for earlier, strategy. Strategically, what I should do for the designing is finish making the samples for the smaller blankets first, and then do the bigger ones, because then the smaller ones can be slipped into August, September, and then like the bigger ones can be for the end of the year. You know, when everybody's busy with holiday prep. But like that horse one could come out, or the unicorn one could come out, might come out this year for December, maybe. Although I'm not going to aim for that, because if it comes out in December, that's not enough time for somebody to make it for someone for like Christmas or Hanukkah or anything. So, or as a December birthday or a Yule gift. Like, it's not going to be enough time. It's going to be a big blanket. So, but we also have the redesign of ASA Cat. That's a fairly small one. Patricia, do you ever do the eventually granny square or EGS blankets? Started making, I've got at least one lapgan in that style, but it's got a tree on it. Those ones tend to look sense. Oh, you did the intersex one, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a bigger intersex design, but I'm running into the problem of needing enough of yellow in that same dye lot. I don't think that's reasonable. Like if I'm having a hard time finding it, then you know, who's gonna be able to do it? Although I could do it in all squared away style, because dye lot doesn't matter if you're using a yarn to join them together. It mattered in the EGS one because the squares were right next to each other. But with the all squared away, close enough is good enough. Yeah, newborn V should be on here. Did I ever decide what to call that? No, it's still called newborn V in my notes. Maybe it just stays newborn V. Why not? It's not like if I start adding letters just to indicate that it's free, that I'm starting at A anyway, because I started at F. The V can just stand for what it stands for in my notes, and that is that there is a video to go with it. Like a specific one for that pattern. I am getting hungry. I think this is the last square though. I think just having eggs for lunch is not going to be filling enough. I'm trying to think of what else we have that I can have with my eggs. I have toast. I don't really have any vegetables. I mean, we've got frozen peas and carrots. I think that's all the vegetables we have in the house right now, though. I've got some cantaloupe in the fridge. I don't know if it's gone off yet, though. I can check that. That could be like dessert or something. I've got tater tots. I haven't had those in ages. I keep those on hand for PMS. Because instead of craving chocolate, I crave fatty, salty carbs. And I just haven't craved them in a while. They're probably freezer burnt. I wonder if the air fryer is clean. Probably not. Anyway, that was the last square. Put my needle away. Let's put that away for for now. Oh, we're already on there. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 we're adding. I still need more colors in here, so probably when I take breaks this afternoon, I am going to pull some more small balls and make some more squares. That's what I'm going to do. Anyway, that's all for me today. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and while I work on that project that has entirely too many ends. I will be here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. It is currently 11:20 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, and we'll probably be working on the same thing. So I'll let you know how the cleaning went tomorrow. If you would like a notification for when I go live, subscribe to my YouTube channel, I guess, or join my Discord. The link is in the description. And go to the roles thread and click on the cat. Seemed appropriate to use the cat emoji given how the streams go. Yeah, so that's it. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.